Okay, race fans, welcome. And we have tonight the semifinals and final races of the GR Supra GT Cup Asia Philippines Round 1 coming from Suzuka, Japan. I'm your host, JP Tuason, and the series director of the races tonight. And today with me, we have fellow car enthusiast and certified gamer himself, Gino Killiamore. How you
Hi,
doing,
JB.
Gino?
Thank you so much for having me tonight. What's up? I'm super excited about all of this. Obviously, like I've watched a lot of non-online races before, but just being able. I mean, my introduction says it all. I've been into video games for such a long time, so finally seeing that transition of esports, like really making it onto the scene, is something that really gets me going. So I'm super excited to be watching everything tonight with you, and of course to get your perspective on things also as somebody who knows everything about this entire race scene. So thank you so much for having me, and to everybody who's watching us tonight, I'm sure we've got a great show in store for everyone.
All right. So to get things going, guys, check out this video.
Now, Toyota has a long and rich history in motorsports for over 60 years, and their experience, technology, and drive is constantly displayed through Toyota Gazoo Racing because they believe that roads build people and cars. It's part of their DNA to push the limits, build tomorrow's cars, and build even better cars for all roads, even under the most extreme conditions. Now, Toyota continues to build on that heritage with e-motorsports through the GR Supra GT Cup Series, a global one-make race championship with competitive stages and a knockout tournament globally. And in the Philippines, we look forward to witnessing the excitement of e-motorsports with the promotional, sporting, and celebrity media classes battling in 3 rounds for the shot to represent the Philippines regionally. Just as motorsports and e-motorsports rather, is deeply rooted in Toyota's DNA, so is responsible driving and road safety. Even in the GR Supra GT Cup, Toyota constantly advocates for driver safety, which is why we encourage racers and viewers to donate any amount to be given to the students' transformation and enrichment for truth values integration and promotion. Though registration is free, we are opening the floor for donations. Now, Toyota isn't just about even better cars, but also about even better lives. Now, again, we'd like to encourage everyone to please donate any amount that you give will, of course, really go a long way. These are for the people who regularly bring in medical supplies, just like PPEs that are being given to the medical frontliners. And God knows that, they can use all the help that they can get. They're also the ones that have been flying stranded individuals back to their provinces, including students from UP and, other people as well. So, if you're just excited for what's in store, as we are, leave a message in the comment section below. We also have a few prizes later on, so that's something to watch out for.
Okay, so we're going to go into the promotional semifinal. So what has happened here is last week we had 87 participants come in and qualify for this week's race. Now we've cut it down to the top 24 guys, and the top 5 guys are really, really, really quick. So in 5th place, we have Lance Padilla with a 210.3. We have in 4th, Noel Halbuena with a 210.2. Jose Altaveros from Auto Industria with a 210.2 as well. And then we have Lance Gubala with a 209.886. And our fastest driver in the qualifying for the leaderboards is Gab Senares with a 209.042. And that time is actually quick enough to be in the sporting class. This is going to be a great race. And what have we got? Let me see if we can put on that video. we've got now the semifinal race. This is the second of 3 semifinals that we've played, and it's going to be 4-lap race. And what we have is on pole position we have Noob Racer. Okay, so Noob Racer is in pole position. JP is in second place, and we have Acer Edge. And we gotta go. Oh, we have somebody that's glitched in the back. I didn't see who that was, but we've got a pretty good start. We've got cars coming down to the main straight into turn 1, led by Noob Racer. Okay, so Noob Racer, followed by Acer Edge, and I think this guy is representing Auto Industria with those colors. Here we go. And
I love how ironic that is. That Noob Racer is currently #1, clearly showing everyone that he is not a Noob Racer whatsoever. You know, what are the odds of that happening?
I know, and the interesting thing with this race is they spread out quite a bit at the start because of the accident with somebody glitching in the back. But let's see, because we've got some pretty quick drivers in the back here today. So let's look at this race. And what do we see? Do we still have Noob Racer in front? Yes, we do. Okay.
So we've got...
Okay. So Noob Racer is in front, followed by Acer Edge. And we've got Kapes Sumimasen. Okay, so we've got a Japanese driver. Hi. Okay, so yeah, there we go. So Cafe is actually Gab Senares. He's actually one of the quickest drivers in this group. Okay, and then we have Auto Industria in there, and that is Anton Andres in 4th place. So we've got a good race going on right now, and we're on board with Anton in the Auto Industria car. In 2nd place again, Acer's Edge. Is that the Jose Altaveros? Let me see. And then in
Do you think that's something that you can still recover for? I mean recover from rather?
He's gone off at the fastest part of the track, so that's what they call the 1-3R, and it's flat out in 4th gear. Very, very quick corner. It's easy to get it wrong. He's just totally gone off, and he has basically given it to who is now in. That's right. Okay, so again, Noob Racer in front, and let me see what is the lap time. Okay, he's put in the fastest lap time of a 2:11, and again, what do we see here? We've got Capeso.
It's a mouthful. Capeso Mimasen. Let's just call him Cape from now on.
Cape from now on, that's for sure. Okay, we've got somebody that has a penalty right there, and I think that's from going off on the track. The difference now between 1st and 2nd place is it's less than 1 second right now, so it could go any way at the moment. Okay.
I actually wanted to ask a question about that, like just because like you mentioned that he's gonna get penalized for going off the track. I mean, is it going off the track already a penalty enough? Because I mean, obviously, like you're taking away so much time from that guy just trying to recover off of that. Additional time is added onto your penalty for that.
Okay, so what the game does is if you go off the track, right, and you possibly use some of the extra road, because there's some areas that have extra asphalt. Okay, right. Asphalt, right? Yeah. And you could actually use that to keep going. So if you use some of that area, you could get a penalty. And what the game does is it gives you that penalty. You either need to work it off by going a little bit slower, and the AI kind of figures that out, or it adds it on at the very end. So it's actually quite interesting, because in a real race, the stewards would give out those penalties manually.
Yeah.
So
with this version, like it automatically calculates everything for you on that end instead.
Yes. Yeah. But what we've done for our race series is we actually have a set of officials that are watching the game at the same time. Yeah. So they're watching the stewards of the game are actually watching what's happening and then looking to see if penalties are going to be given. All right. Yeah. So going back to our race, we've got 3 out of 4 laps left. Noob Racer is still in front, but Cape is right there. Okay, so we have Gab Senares. He is closing the gap. It's very, very close. Actually, Gab has put in the fastest lap of this race with a 209.3. And we have a really good onboard with Noob Racer. He's getting a lot of pressure from the back there. And you've played this game, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Actually, one of the things that I wanted to discuss with you about this is when somebody is on your tail just like that kind of pressures you into making a wrong decision. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that affects you in the same way that it does me, but I get all panicky like when somebody is that close to behind me. It's like, oh my god, I can't screw up, and then you end up screwing up.
That's right, but you can see right now that Cafe in the back there is really using all of the road. He's maximizing all of the road through the corners, keeping it very, very tight. So you can see right there. Ooh. And is it going to be a pass?
Is it?
Side by side.
Oh no! I think Racers gets that hold onto it. Yeah.
That's right, but you know, Capet is right there, and he's ready to take the place. He's letting the Noob Racer make those noob mistakes.
but you know what? Credit where credit is due. Noob Racers, he's really holding on to that spot, and he's really not letting it go. Like I think he loves the number one. I think he loves being first on this track, and he's really making Capet Sumimasen work for every inch of the track here.
You know, the interesting thing is the strategy for the semi-final races is you need to place in the top 3 positions to be able to qualify for the final, right? But now, when you get in, if these guys get into the final, being fast is actually not a good thing, because if you're fast, then we do a reverse grid. You get put in the back at the final.
You get put in the back, right?
Yeah, so these guys are pushing hard, but they got a technique, right? Because there's a bit of strategy involved. So we're now on our last lap.
Magpapalast ka na para sakto lang napasok ka sa qualifier para hindi ka nasa dugo.
Correct. But if you've got all that adrenaline going, right? I mean, how do you compute that? Oh! There's contact. There's contact there between Capet and
Noob Racers.
And yes, he does get a penalty for that. I'm pretty sure there should be a penalty for that. And Noob Racer was able to get back onto the track and continue, but there's definitely going to be a penalty for that contact, I guess. We'll see what the stewards say about that later on. So we have Capet in front with a 209.3. He's got the fastest lap. He's on the last lap now. There was contact there. He was able to take a bit of an advantage and pass Noob Racer. But we'll have to see what the stewards say about that contact there. Yeah.
So I guess at this point we can already surmise that Mr. is not going for the discarte of I'm gonna place it a little bit later than first, just so I can be in front of the grid for the next race.
He's going for it. He's like, I'm gonna.
Who cares? Right? I want to be number one.
That's right. No, but it may not pay off in the long run, right? It may not pay off for the total points for the final, right? So he's gonna get full points here. But he may not get the points for the final race, or be in a good position to win the final as well. Okay?
But I actually wanted to ask you about that as well. As somebody who has actually raced in real life and is exposed to this sort of thing, as a driver, is that something that your pride can take? You know what I mean? Like knowing that you could be number one, but knowing that it's also a smarter decision to not be number one. Would you be like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna take this pole position just because it's the smarter move to make.
Well, we were talking about it earlier, right? You and I were talking about Formula One, remember?
Yeah.
And I think the point with that question is, as a driver and being on a team. Okay, so we have a winner. Capet is our winner. Okay, so he's won that race, and then Noob Racer is in second. And there's battle for third place.
And they're side by side.
Side by side. It's gonna be.
That was close.
It's gonna be Auto Industria takes it from Acer's Edge, and I think they are teammates. But Auto Industria takes third place. Congratulations to Noob Racer, who is Jether Miole, and Auto Industria, Anton Andres, and Capet, who is Gab Señares. All right, great. So that was a good race. And I guess to just finish up our discussion about strategy, in Formula One, they have strategy all the time, especially when you have teammates, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes you need to sacrifice to be able to get the maximum points, to be able to get the strategy, to be able to look at the long-term thing of a whole season. And what we're doing here tonight is the first of 3 weekends of racing, right? So these guys have to be thinking long-term if they want to win the championship.
Got to think critically. But you mentioned that, you know, I was actually really interested to see that you mentioned that Auto Industry and Acer Edge are teammates, right?
They look like teammates. They've got the same livery,
but
right?
they're not racing like teammates. That's what I like about it, because you know how like in Formula One, I'm not too sure if they've already ruled that out, where driver number 1 will be allowed to pass driver number 2 just because, you know, he's the star driver or whatever. I'd like seeing that competition and not taking away the edge from anybody. So it's nice to see that while they are racing for the same team, they are still racing against each other. And, you know, in essence, that's what I like about, you know, seeing races like this. But yeah, so far it was Kapesu Mimasen.
Yes, that's right. That has won that race. Okay. And then in second place we have Noob Racer, and in third place we had Auto Industria, and he edged out Auto Industria's Anton Andres, a good friend of ours, and he just edged out Acer's Edge, and that is also, I just confirmed from Auto Industria, Jose Luis Altaveros. Now in fourth place was Jose Luis Altaveros, and he was the winner last year for the Vios Racing Festival Autocross Challenge. So he was actually a real racer, right?
A racer,
in the virtual world, he was doing very well until he made that mistake and went off at 130R.
So do you think it translates while that if you're an excellent racer in real life, does it also make you an excellent e-motorsports racer? Or is it a different, you know, discipline altogether?
That is a great question, and you know, you can actually see that a lot of the top Formula One drivers, professional drivers, they spend a lot of time on the sims, right? To be sim racers as well, just to keep sharp. And to a certain point, I think definitely you can practice a lot of the skills there. It's not exactly 100% the same, but you will see that a lot of the really good professional drivers are also very good sim racers. And what that leads into tonight is when we move into the semifinal for the sporting class, we have our professional local esports drivers, and we have our local professional drivers as well. So we're actually going to see how that difference comes into play tonight. Yeah.
And it's very interesting to see this, because if you think about it, you know, for the e-motorsports professionals, this is kind of their turf, you know what I mean? But at the same time, the professional race car drivers in real life are also, but your turf is kind of like not a knockoff, but more of like a simulation of our turf. So we'll see like how that really translates online, and obviously that's something that's very exciting to be able to witness.
Okay, so what we've got on screen now is these are our top 9 promotional class winners from the semifinal heats. And in 9th place we have Anton Andres, who we just saw. We have in 8th place Peter Amadeus. In 7th place we have Owen Rada. In 6th place we have Jether Miole. In 5th place we have JP Lanyog. And 4th place we have Clark Lau. 3rd place Gab Senares. 2nd place Lance Padilla, and in 1st place we have Lance Gubala. So these are the 9 guys that have qualified from the semifinal. We're going to see them in the final race, and you can see that their overall times are put there. What's going to happen is we're going to reverse the grid. So the quick guys are going to be in the back, the slower guys are going to be in the front, and it should be a cracker of a race, my friend, a cracker.
I mean, I understand that the reason behind this is, of course, to make it a little bit more, you know, make it a little even of a playing field. But at the same time, you can't help but feel like, yo, you know, I did my best. I became number 1, and here I am being put in the back. So I got to prove myself all over again. And it just makes it so exciting for everybody who's watching. Maybe not so much for the actual, you know, player who has to go through it, you know.
Right? It's super stressed. Right? You can imagine that, right? The stress that they have to go through. But that's what we're trying to do, right? If we put these drivers through all of this stress and they actually come out on top, then they should be the guys that we send across to represent the Philippines, because they will really be the best of the best. And I think one thing that hasn't really been touched on that we're doing here is we're actually patterning a lot of these rules with our actual Vios Racing Festival rules. So we're actually doing the reverse grid very similar in a way to how we do the reverse grid in the real races. So we've seen it in real life create a lot of drama, and hopefully in virtual world there will be lots of drama as well later on. Okay, so
it's a racing simulator after all, so yeah.
It is. So go all out, right?
Yeah. I believe at this point we have our first raffle. It's now open for entries. We're going to keep it very simple and easy for the first round. If you've been staying up to date, you'll definitely know the answer to this. Now, the prize is Gazoo Racing merchandise from Toyota. So just type your answer in the comment section below and we will randomly pick from the correct answers, all right? So I hope you guys are ready. Here we go. How many champions from the Philippines will compete at the GR Supra GT Cup Asia regional rounds? Again, if you missed out on that, how many champions from the Philippines will compete at the GR Supra GT Cup Asia regional rounds? Go for it. Type in your answers in the comment section, and again, we'll select one of the correct answers randomly. So just type the answers in. We'll give you a few minutes to send in your entries while we go on a short break.
Want to know what leveled up with the new Toyota Vios? Leveled up look! Daytime running lights, 3-tier LED headlights, glossy black front grille and bumper, upgraded fog lamps. The current Vios just leveled up with a new cutting-edge exterior. The new Vios. Level up your drive.
All right, welcome back to the semifinals round of the GR Supra GT Cup Asia Philippines round 1. And time is up for our raffle. I'm pretty sure that was enough time for you guys already. The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is 3 champions. All right, 3 champions will represent the Philippines in the Asia regional round. So, I saw that a bunch of people got that correctly. Now, the winner will be randomly chosen among the correct answers, and we will announce the name of the 3 winners later on. So you got to watch out for that. Now, also, I just hope that you guys weren't too distracted by the new Toyota Vios you just saw and that you were able to join in on the raffle. Now, if you want, you can actually learn more about the new Toyota Vios and our other models by visiting toyota.com.ph. JP, I just have to say, I thought my days of begging my dad for cars were over. I moved out, I started buying my own stuff, and then I saw that he got himself the new Vios, and then I found myself going back to college all of a sudden, where I'm like, Dad, can I drive your car? Can I drive your car? I thought I was over that. I thought I was independent.
I hear you. It's a great car to drive, right? We race them at the racetrack. You should come down, man.
I will. One of these, I'm so excited for obviously when we can go back out again, and I've always been a fan of experiencing new stuff, and like I mentioned earlier, like my experience with the racetrack has always been a virtual one, and we were talking about it a couple of minutes ago, where a lot of the little details, the landmarks in certain tracks are actually taken off of the real thing. And I find that amazing.
So, the interesting thing about Suzuka is we were actually physically there just last December. Yeah. So, to see to be at the track when we were actually racing that weekend in Suzuka, and then to have the races in Suzuka now is so epic for me, because I see all those landmarks. I see the cars coming around the track. They're looking at the Ferris wheel, and I'm like, man, I was just on that Ferris wheel.
Right.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
And
So
it's nice that it's not getting wrecked or anything, because if you play Call of Duty, like you see Marina Bay Sands is there, but it's like, broken in half. Like this is, it's nice to see that they've kept it the way it should be.
Yeah. That's right, bro.
But hey, just to
Okay,
remind everyone, once again, of course, we are open for donations. We talked about it a little earlier. So if you guys do want to help build better and safer lives for our beneficiaries, please donate to the account number, which we're going to be flashing on the screen.
So now we go to the semifinal of our sporting class, okay? And this is going to be super exciting because not only are they the fastest drivers in the Philippines, there's actually quite a few drivers in this group that are real race car drivers. So professional race car drivers versus professional esports champions. Okay, so
there you go.
How epic is that? Yeah.
So we'll actually get to see.
Yeah, we'll actually get to see who's who, right?
Yeah.
In our esports motorsports. Now, there were 29 drivers that registered for the race. 21 of them have qualified. So we've got the list over here, and the top 5 guys. So, 5th place we have Paul Basse. This is Paui, and he's an actual racer. Okay, so he actually does he does the slaloms and the autocrosses, and he put in a 209.255. In 4th place, we have Luis Gono. Okay, so this guy is a Vios Cup champion. He is a drifting champion. He is a Formula V1 champion. He is a karting champion. He's done it all, right?
Damn.
And here we go with a 209.198. So you can see it's really, really close. Yeah. And then we have Terence Lave. Terence is a professional esports player, 209.098. And then we have Luis Moreno with a 208.725, and this is another professional esports player. And then we have Miguel San Mateo with a 208.631. So the top 3 guys are professional esports players, and then 4th and 5th are real racers.
Physical racers.
Physical racers, right, that are now going into the virtual world. Now, just to mention it, in the group of 21 drivers that we've got playing tonight, we actually have Estefano Rivera, who is a multiple champion in many different race series. Yeah. We've got, who do we have? We have Ivan Carapiet, who is a Formula car driver as well. We have Rafe Rabe, who also is a Formula car driver. And we also have Alex Brown. So these guys have experience in real cars, and they're on this grid tonight. This should be crazy.
But of course, the real question is how well that experience in real life translates to the virtual world, to the e-motorsport scene. And if it's an indication so far, the people in the top 3 are e-motorsports racers, and then you've got your real racers, your physical racers on 4th and 5th place. Let's see if they're able to hold on to that.
That's right. So actually we have a go now. So we're in our pre-final or our semi-final for the sporting class, and leading the race we've got Alpha Cypher. What a name, right?
Such a gamer name.
Pretty
like,
it is, right?
Alpha Cypher spelled with little lead numbers and whatever.
That's right, and I love his livery. Look at that. That's nice and clean. Looks real racing right there. Okay, so he's being followed right now by who we have here. Let's see. Okay, we have
Bane 904.
Okay. Bane 904. Okay, so that's Paui Base Basket, and he's a good friend of ours as well. He is the real racer in this group. So Miguel San Mateo leading this group, followed by Bane 904 or Paui Base. And what have we got in 3rd place? Who we have over here? Alex Brown. Okay, so we have another real racer in 3rd place. Alex Brown from the Avengers. Okay, so he's actually representing a Vios Racing Festival team. So this is a great race. Pro esports racer in front, 2 real racers right behind him. Let's see what happens. Who do we have in 4th? Let me see. Who do we have in 4th place? Checking it out. Okay, so we're riding on board now with Paui Okay, Bane 904. And how far is he back from our
Alpha Cypher.
our leader? Alpha Cypher.
Right? Like, you kind of had to say, you kind of have to say it with a little bit of like, you know, character. Alpha Cypher.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's from the Matrix.
You need to have a robotic voice to say that.
I don't know.
All right, so they're now here at the Casio chicane and leading down the main straight. Okay, we still have Alpha Cypher in front. In second place, it's still looking the same. And who do we have in third place? Is it still Alex Brown? Yes, it looks like it's Alex Brown. Yep. Okay, great. And not a lot of action yet. I don't know if these guys are just waiting. We're on the second lap now. Alex Brown is pushing quite a bit. You can see his car sliding a bit through there.
I don't know about waiting. I feel like, you know, patience is not the biggest virtue of a race car driver. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go first.
We have only a very short 4-lap semifinals, so they really need to push, right? But like we were saying earlier, there has to be a strategy. If these guys really want to get maximum points for the weekend and do very well in the long run, they need to be thinking about being in the top 3, but making sure that they don't have such a quick lap that they end up being in the back of the reverse grid. That's right. That's right.
So do you feel like this is something that our e-motorsports racers are also taking into consideration, or is this something that, you know, just the physical racers are considering?
You know, that is a very good question, and we might actually see all of this come into play as we move into the final. We're going to see where the really quick drivers are. So the guys to be watching out for are Alpha Cypher. We can see is leading this group. Terence Leave, who is another professional esports driver. So, yep, and also Luis Moreno. So what we're going to look at is how these guys qualify later on for the final. Okay, but right now this group is being led by Alpha Cypher, and he's just put in the fastest lap with a 2:10.9 there. Okay.
So he's really not letting up, even if he's already number 1. And I mean, I guess that's how you stay number 1.
That's right.
There you go.
So he is being followed very closely in the back by Bane or Paui. I think maybe Paui's playing a bit of a game here, trying to just stay to the back and waiting a bit, right? Because you know, you said it earlier on. If you are in front, right, and somebody's right behind you, the problem is you have all that pressure, right? Yeah. So I think Paui's playing the game where he's going to be following and just waiting it out. Maybe towards the end, if the pressure is building on Alpha Cypher, maybe he'll just come in and take it. We'll see.
So rather than, you know, him receiving the pressure, he wants to be the one giving it first, and then at the relative tail end of the entire race, that's when he makes his move. I guess we'll find out soon enough because we're already on lap 3 of 4. Now, you know, I don't know how it normally is in real racing, but like there seems to not be too much time to do stuff about it. Like, I mean, 4 laps, it's a relatively short time. If let's just say that you started a little bit behind on the grid, is it enough time to actually, you know, make a difference in terms of, you know, where you're going to be ending up at, provided that nobody, like, you know, goes off track or anything like that?
Well, in 4 laps, right, you have to remember that each lap is over the 2 minutes.
Right.
So over 2 minutes, and then if you have a racetrack that has 14 turns, like
there you go. Bano Ford. Yeah, Bano Ford just overtook Alpha Cypher. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Alpha Cypher had gone off track just a little bit, and Bano.
So there you go. That's the pressure we're talking about, right? Yeah. So that's that pressure. You called it, man. You called it.
So far, we've got somebody who has, you know, done physical racing. Now with the first place, overtaking Alpha Cypher, who is in e-motorsports. Ooh, there it is. You know.
So we've got these guys. They're now on the main straight. They're heading on to their last lap, and we can see that Bane's put in the fastest lap with a 2:09, and it looks like he's got a bit of a lead now.
Right. So let's see if this is still
So that's
enough
almost
time.
a second, huh? Yeah, that's almost a second that he has there, 0.9 of a second in front. And on the final lap, we'll see. We still have Alex Brown there as well. Alex is in 3rd place. Unfortunately, he has a big gap. There's about more than 3 seconds on the last lap. So I think he's going to be comfortable qualifying for the final, but probably not enough to catch these guys in front. Yeah.
So now it's really more of a battle between Bano and Alpha Cypher. There's like I think half a second gap now. They got 0.3 or something, and I believe
it's actually gone down. Gone down.
I think Alpha Cypher is now the one doing the pressure.
That's right.
Baka gamitin lang din yung tactic ni Bano 4. Yun din yung kiniisip niya na parang okay.
He's gonna play the other game, right? He's gonna play the other game, giving it back to them. But okay, so we're now. Where are we on the track? We're in the fastest sections of the track. We're going towards. If I'm not mistaken, we're going towards the spoon curves. So not a lot of track left. On to the back straight after this. So if there's going to be a pass, the pass has to be made. Yeah, the pass has to be made in the next 2 corners, or else that's it. So there's a bit of a chance to do a slipstream here. So if he's right behind, he's going to get a bit of a tow, and that may be enough to slingshot across. Okay, here we are in the braking. Yeah, braking a little bit as we turn in, and then it's flat out through this section. 130R. Oh, there you go. He made a move. Oh, contact. Was there contact there? Oh, through the chicane. Was there contact through the chicane, side by side onto the main straight? Who's it gonna be? It's going to be
Bane takes it. Bano 4 man, a hairline of a margin. That was crazy how close that was.
Crazy.
0.004.
That is nuts. And interestingly enough, Alpha Cypher has put in the fastest lap of the race in that last lap. Okay, so good racing on these guys, right? That was really, really good racing.
And right at that was the last turn. That was the last turn of.
That was the last turn. That was the Casio Triangle chicane, and it's actually very hard to pass there because it's a tight entry, right? So if you get it wrong, you actually just go right past the corner. So he could have messed it up, but it was perfectly done. I don't know if there's a bit of contact there, but it seemed to be kind of clean. And then they were side by side coming out, and he had Bane had just that little bit more of a push to get out of the corner, and he took it. All right.
Pero alam naman natin, tayo mga Pinoy, mahilig sa masisikip eh. Pag nakakita yan ng konti, pasok pa rin yan. Ganyan tayo. I mean, that's normal training sa atin eh. So medyo, you try to capitalize too much on that. But it's nice to see that there was so much action right before the very end of the race. And obviously, like Bano 4's gambit paid off. He waited. He was patient. Put the pressure on Alpha Cypher, and ultimately was able to take the lead and win that race.
So going back to our discussion earlier on, right? So we actually have a real racer that has won that heat, followed by a esports player, and then followed by a real racer again. So interesting to see that kind of a finish. And now what we have on the screen is we have our top 9 drivers that have qualified for the final. Okay, we've got Corban Guerrero. We've got in 8th place Ian Sokia. We've got in 7th Alex Brown. Then we've got another real racer, Luis Gono. 5th place Miguel San Mateo. 4th place Mark Elman. 3rd place Luis Moreno. 2nd place Pawi Base, and we've got in 1st we have Terence Llave. Now the interesting thing is these are the total times for the race. We're now going to reverse the grid. So on pole position for the final, we're going to see Corban Guerrero. And the interesting thing, my friend, is Corban Guerrero. I just spoke to this guy a couple of weeks ago, and out of the list of all the people that are playing, he is the only guy, right, in the sporting class playing against the pros that is on a controller. It is nuts. It is nuts. Yeah,
be able
dude.
to perform that way, to be number
Yeah.
9. I mean, sure, it's the last when it comes to, but still to be able to perform that way with just a controller, I would love to see what this guy can do with an actual racing wheel.
I know. Can somebody please give this guy a racing wheel? It should be
Diba?
crazy. Yeah.
Who know? Although to be fair, there might be a little bit of a disconnect there also, because if you're so used to playing with a controller, once there is a little bit of a learning curve once you start using a racing wheel. So maybe now is not the best time for him to get on that racing wheel. Stick to what he knows first, and then maybe for the next couple of races or so, then he can start building up on it. But it's amazing how he was able to reach this far. But it also, like what you just talking about what you mentioned earlier. We have a nice mix of physical professional racers and e-motorsports racers as well. So at this point, it's really still like we still can't decide whether or not the real racing experience translates directly into e-motorsports racing. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But just
We'll have
judge.
to wait till we'll get to the final.
Oh, medyo it's a point of contention pa rin. It's a point of contention pa rin.
Yeah. The night is
All right.
early, my friend. Let's see how it goes.
Indeed. So here we go. We also have our raffle results. I believe they're already in. Congratulations to our 3 winners. It will be flashing it on your screens. You have just won GR merchandise from Toyota. So send us a message on Facebook. That way we can inform you how you can claim your prize. Congratulations once again. Of course, keep following our page for more information about the event, playing pointers and track tips. If you want to be part of this one of these days, this will come in really handy. These, obviously this has all been specifically made for your enjoyment and entertainment, and to add to that, education as well in terms of, e-motorsports racing.
There you go.
So again, if you're very interested in going for something awesome like the new Toyota Vios, you can learn more about the new Toyota Vios and our other models by visiting toyota.com.ph. And before we head on to the promotional and sporting class finals race, we'll just have a quick break.
Want to know what leveled up with the new Toyota Vios? Leveled up look! Daytime running lights, 3-tier LED headlights, glossy black front grille and bumper, upgraded fog lamps. The current Vios just leveled up with a new cutting-edge exterior. The new Vios. Level up your drive.
What do we go for? We go for experience. We go for excitement. We go for sport. We go for style. We go for fun. We go for the new Toyota Wigo.
So we're back with the final race for the promotional class. Okay, so we're gonna have now a reverse grid, and it's gonna be a 6-lap final. Okay, so for today's races at Suzuka, it's going to be a 1.0 multiplier. So whatever the points we're giving out this weekend is going to be given out as is. So we don't have any super multiplier this weekend, which allows drivers to catch up. Okay, so
Right.
We've got a reverse grid with Anton Andres that is going to be on pole position. Peter Amadeus will be in second place. Owen Rada in third. Jether Miole in fourth place. JP Leaño in fifth place. We've got Clark Lau, Gab Sinares, Lance Padilla, and Lance Gubala, wrapping up our promotional class drivers. And again, this is going to be a really, really interesting race because we've got the fastest guys in the back.
All the way in the back.
Okay,
yeah.
battle all the way in the back. So the fastest guys are all the way in the back. They've got to battle it up to get to the front to get maximum points for this race. Okay, and the winner for this race will receive prizes from Toyota. Our champion will get a GoPro, Huawei.
Nice.
Second place will get a GR watch and backpack. And our third place driver will get a backpack and a watch. And finally, so the fastest lap will receive a watch from Toyota. So here we go. Let's check out this final race.
So you could pretty much suck for the entire race, but like at least if you get a fastest lap, you still get something out of it, you know? I mean,
you could, may consuelo.
may consuelo pa rin. Again, I cannot
That's right.
stress enough how exciting this will be because like you mentioned, the fastest guys are all the way in the back. They're all back of the bus. And I want to see if they're able to catch up and still make it, you know, the front of the race, despite the obvious disadvantage of starting all the way from the back.
And we've got to go. Okay, so unfortunately we've got a couple of guys that have glitched there.
Yep.
And they haven't got to start. Auto Industria, that is Andres has not been able to start the race. So too bad. It's a bit of a problem probably with the ISP. But we've got a good race start. 8 cars have gotten going. And who do we have in front? Who do we have? We have Peter Amadeus. Peter is in front, and it's a tight pack, you guys can see. Peter Amadeus is leading the group. We've got the Noob Racer in second place. Noob Racer is in second. We have Cape in third. Wow, Cape has come all the way from the back into third place very, very quickly. It's looking good for Cape because he's definitely one of the quicker drivers, and he's already moved to the front of this grouping. We can see them now going towards the tunnel. And who else do we have in fourth place? Who do we have here? We have, is that Forever a Shroom?
Yep, Forever a Shroom is on fourth.
Forever a Shroom. What a name, right?
I know, like, where they come up with these names. But I mean, obviously, like you mentioned earlier, Kapesumi-Masen was able to make his way from the back of the race, already at number 3 now. So he has already proven that yes, it is possible to still make your way to the front. What we'll have to see is if he's going to go all the way. New racers, yes. Yep.
So he's now, Cape is now in second place, all right? And he started way back there. If I'm not mistaken, he started in the back of that group, right? So he started in the back of the group and then is now in second place. What have we got going on? We're still on our first lap though, huh?
Yep, and we've
Heading
got,
towards the chicane.
Oh, there you go. That was another close one. Lancer 4451. I think that's what Forever Shroom, or was he battling it out? Although he does get a penalty for that.
Yeah, there could be a bit of overusing of the outside part of the track. So he does have a penalty. So he's got to either serve that or it's going to be added to the end of the race.
Right. There you go. Kapesumi-Masen is now first place, taking that one from Peter Amadeus. He really is going all the way.
You got it. And they're in a very, very fast part of the track as well. So that was a great move there. So it's actually very difficult to make a pass at this section because all of the turns interconnect. So if you make a mistake in one part of these S curves, it slows down your whole lap. So it's really, really difficult to make a pass here.
But again, you know, this is only the second lap of 6, so
that's right. Anything can happen, right?
Yeah, we've seen it happen.
Oh,
there you go. Oh, was that contact? Was that contact?
There was contact for sure. So who was that? Was it Noob Racer?
I believe it was New Racers. Is he gonna get penalized for that, or does that not?
That is a good question. That's probably going to be invested. Super good contact right there. Almost lost it, but was able to regain and keep on going. we have the fastest lap, and we have this fastest lap.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. There you go.
Got some good in-car action right here.
I believe this is Lagubi 5.
Okay, so we have Lagubi. This is Lance Gubala we're riding with, and he's coming down the back straight into 130R. Right behind. Oh, action!
There you
Oh,
go.
look at that!
Racers is out.
Oh my gosh!
Spun out.
Who was
Lagubi
that?
is now third. I believe that was New Racer that spun out. And I
New
believe
Racer. Oh boy, contact right there.
he does
Okay,
have-
that's also going to be investigated. There is already a penalty. You can see it. Penalty from that contact, and it's a 1.5 second penalty. That's a big one. That could change the result of this race.
Currently, he is at number 3, but with that 1.5 penalty, like, you know, that's going to bring him down a couple of notches, that's for sure. Ever Shroom, still there, still hanging on. Lancer 5-1 was actually, I believe he was at the 3rd earlier or 4th. It's now down to 5th place. Kape Sumimasen is still holding on to that lead, 1st place, but we're now halfway through. We're currently at lap 3 of 6. A little bit of action going on here between Lagubi and Peter Amadeus.
That's right. And is it going to be the same sort of contact that we saw earlier on? What do we see? Penalty. There's a penalty given.
Lagubi, although he has taken 2nd place, making him a little bit closer to Kape Sumimasen. Kape Sumimasen is nowhere to be found. Like, he's just way ahead of him.
He's basically just on his own, and what he's trying to do is put in some really quick laps and build sort of that gap in between him and the other guys. And as we were talking about earlier, if nobody's behind you, right, there's not a lot of pressure. So he's probably just putting his head down and just going for it.
Making all the right decisions, and at this point he's probably like, because at one stretch we were able to see that so many people got penalties left and right, he's probably like, bahala kayo dyan sa kanan niyo, kayo na dyan. Okay na ako dito. Right? Nag-away kayo dyan. I'm good here, you know?
Oh! Forever Shroom is off the track. He got a bit too hard over there.
Moving up the 3rd place with that.
Yep. So Peter Amadeus was leading this race, is now in 4th place. And we're now on lap 4 of 6.
Action tayo.
Action to.
Race na to. Maraming penalties left and right. Maraming banggaan. Pinatanggal sa track. But they were able to make their way back. But while, you know, all of this is happening, feeling ko nagkakape na si Kape Sumimasen at this point. Para,
he's
lang tayo
waving to
mga
the other
sir.
Japanese.
Lang tayo mga sir.
Waving to the marshals. Thank you. Okay, so you know, the interesting thing is when you come into the final, you know, you really gotta put it out there, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing. You can't save anything. You gotta go for it.
Don't hold him back.
6 laps. But you gotta remember, if you are coming from the back, which is where all the fast guys are, you gotta go through the field, and you can see that some of these guys are really feeling the pressure. The contacts, the driving on course, they're pushing it, bro. They're pushing it hard.
But at the same time, it's like one of those questions where you're like, do I play it safe or do I try to overtake? Because if I play it safe, then for sure I won't get penalized for anything. But at the same time, like, if I play it safe, I'm not gonna go anywhere. And everybody at this point is, you know, obviously out to get the number 1. So it becomes a really tricky situation to be part of, if you really think about it.
I agree, especially if these guys are thinking about the strategy, the long-term strategy, accumulating the points for the overall win, right?
Right. No,
Because all you have to do is
Go ahead.
all you got to do is crash one. If you crash once, you totally lose all the points, and that could mess you up at the very end of it.
Here's actually what I wanted to ask you also, because I mean, obviously, when we're talking about esports, collisions, sure you get penalized, but that's pretty much the extent of you know the repercussion of getting into a collision. Whereas in physical racing, there's that whole holy crap, I'm gonna get into an accident, my car could turn over, I could possibly die. You know what I mean? There's that entire aspect of it.
Well, having said that, yeah, in motorsports, with all of the safety gear and the way the cars have been designed now, people dying in motorsports is very,
very
rare nowadays. Yeah. But in terms of destroying stuff, man, you're definitely gonna destroy stuff. Like for example, last year we had Troy Montero. What an amazing race he had. You know, he was doing really well. He was winning his class, and it was in the rain that on the last mistake coming out of the last quarter, he touched another car. Cars went flying through the air, tumbling across, and then it's crazy because he won the race, tumbling over
the line.
Yeah.
Wild.
So they pulled him out of the car, and he was still be safe, right?
Yeah.
He was upset. You know, the car was damaged, but he walked away from that, and he won.
Wow.
So in real racing, you gotta be thinking about what you're doing, because yes, you could totally destroy the car. And like I said, getting hurt nowadays is very rare in motorsports. People will damage cars, they will damage the racetrack, but in terms of people dying nowadays, it's really very rare.
That's true, but at the same time, I feel like there's still that little part of you that, you know, obviously doesn't want contact to happen, just because it's you know, that's kind of what you're programmed to do. The minute that you get driving school, the first thing that they teach you is, you know, just don't get into a car crash, don't get into a collision. Even if you know for a fact that, you know, obviously our safety protocols have gone such a long way since, you know, the very start of racing. But there's still that you know, subconscious part of you that's like, okay, I need to avoid this guy. Whereas when it's online, it's like, okay, I can give it a little love tap, and you know that should be fine. So it's, I mean, I'm sure that all plays into it somehow to some degree. It's funny that you know, I'm pretty sure Troy Montero at that point was like, yo, I thought about winning this, but I didn't think that I would end up winning it that way. You know, rolling into the win.
That's right. Okay, so going back to our races, we're on our final lap, and it looks like Cape has disappeared into the sunset, and it's going to be an easy win for him. But we have some action here in the back. In fourth place, who have we got? We've got Peter Amadeus, and he's being followed by, who do we have? Racer and Everest Shroom. So we've got some action from these guys. Great in-car shot. You know, I love it whenever I see that Ferris wheel. That's awesome.
Oh, that's the Ferris wheel you were talking about.
Yeah, dude, it's really there. It's really there, I swear.
At least for now, that's the closest we'll get to it, you know, while everything else is happening along the world. Noob Racers is really pushing, knowing that it's the final lap, you know, really getting a little too close for comfort for Peter Amadeus. Oh, there you go!
You called it, and off he goes!
Oh no!
Off he goes! Oh no! There's definitely gonna be a investigation into that incident. We'll have to see what the results will be from that, but that could definitely be a penalty.
And you know what sucks about all of that is for Noob Racers, who was pushing so hard, you know, he was able to surpass Peter Amadeus with just a little bit, but because of it, he also ended up going outside, and at the end of it all, he still ends behind Peter Amadeus because of that maneuver. So,
right.
Well, obviously we got Kapiso Mimasen, who's just, you know, at this point chilling, coasting towards the finish line.
Congratulations to him. And in second place, we have Lance Gubala. But I don't know. We're gonna have to take a look, right? Because there was a penalty that was given to Lagubi for some of those incidents, and we're gonna have to see whether he actually finishes in second or not. And in third place, we have Lance Padilla, Lancer. Is that right, Lancer?
4451.
Yeah.
Web Racers, followed by Forever Shroom, and of course Peter Amadeus coming in 6th on that race. There you go.
Just to wrap up our prizes for our champion, we're giving away a GoPro, and that goes to Cape. We've got a GR watch and a backpack, and it seems like there's going to be penalties given. So it's going to be going to Lancer4451. Lance Padilla, congratulations. And in 3rd place, we've got a backpack and watch, and that will be given to Lance Gubala. Lagubi.
There you go. So those are some of the amazing prizes that they got to win. But if you're watching this, don't worry, don't feel left out, because we actually have our second raffle for today. The prize is a Gazoo Racing merchandise from Toyota. So just type your answer in the comment section below, and we will randomly pick from the correct answers. This is super easy. If you get this wrong, ewan ko na lang, kasi sobrang, we were talking, JP and I were talking about this, like, you know, since the very start. Here is the question: what track are our racers racing in today? Again, missed that out, what track are our racers racing in today? So go for it, type it in the comment section. We'll give you a few minutes to answer while we go on a short break.
Want to know what leveled up with the new Toyota Vios? Level up look! Daytime running lights, 3-tier LED headlights, glossy black front grille and bumper, upgraded fog lamps, superior safety. The vehicle stability control assists in stabilizing the car and helps prevent side skids. The hill start assist control lets you safely advance from a full stop with ease when you're going uphill. 7 SRS airbags. The back camera gives you more control when moving backwards. Peak performance. The 1.5 dual VVT-I engine provides you with better fuel efficiency at all engine speeds. Enjoy seamless shifts between gears with a CVT. The Toyota Vios comes in 2 driving modes: Eco mode for fuel efficiency and Sport mode for performance acceleration. Paddle shifters give you more control for sportier manual gear shifting. Constant convenience. Smart Entry allows you to unlock your car just by touching the door handle, even with the key in your pocket. With just a quick button press, get the engine running instantly with a push start system. 7-inch WebLink audio display. Spacious legroom. The current Vios just leveled up with a new cutting-edge exterior. The new Vios. Level up your drive.
All right, welcome back to the final heat of the GR Supra GT Cup Asia Philippines Round 1. Now, time is also up for our raffle, and the correct answer is the Suzuka circuit. Ladies and gentlemen, Round 1 of GR Supra GT Cup Asia PH is held at the Suzuka GP circuit, which is also considered as one of the most challenging circuits in the real world. Now, the winner will be randomly chosen among the correct answers, and we will announce the name of the 3 winners later on. Again, if you guys want to learn more about the new Toyota Vios and our other models, you can just visit toyota.com.ph. And also, we're knocking on your kind hearts to keep on donating. The account details are flashed on the screen below. Any amount will do, as again, it greatly helps all of our beneficiaries.
What we've got now is our Sporting Class Final. Sporting Class Final is our last race of the evening. This is going to be the cracker of the race because we've got the professional esports guys versus the professional race car drivers. Okay, so we've got our list of drivers here right now, and as you guys can see, okay, we have our list of best times in pole position for tonight because it's a reverse grid. We've got Corban Guerrero, and then we have Ian Sokila. We've got Alex Brown, Luis Gono, Miguel San Mateo, Mark Elman, Luis Moreno, Pawi Base, and Terence Liave. So there we go.
Reversed.
Okay, so first, so it's going to be a 6-lap race, 6 laps around the Suzuka circuit. Super famous racetrack. It is a fantastic track to drive. It's very, very difficult, very, very challenging. It was a track that was built all the way in 1962. So this track has been around for like forever. It's
quite a while.
5.8 kilometer, 5.8 kilometer racetrack. They use it for Formula One. So it's a world-class racetrack that we're at tonight. And the winner for tonight will get a GoPro, courtesy of Toyota. Second place will get a GR watch and backpack. And third place will get a backpack and a watch. Okay, and then the fastest lap will also receive a watch from Toyota. Yes, Gino, what's up?
I can already imagine what you can do with that GoPro, because GoPros are perfect for like whatever you put it on your race car or anything like that. But since we're all doing this from home, you can put it on top of your race seat, capturing your TV.
That's right.
And that way, it kind of feels like the real thing.
That's right, my friend. That's right. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to play our race, and we'll see how this goes. Again, real race car drivers versus professional esports drivers. This should be a great race. We've got the fast race car drivers in the middle. So they're in the middle, and then the fast esports drivers are all the way in the back. So we've got on pole position Corban Guerrero, and again, I spoke to this guy just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. He is on a controller. It is nuts. It is nuts. And let's see how it goes. It is. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, and there we go.
Oh no, we have somebody glitching out at the very end.
We had one person glitch at the end, but we've got 8 guys racing. Corban Guerrero is in front. Who do we have in second place? We have Sukain. And then followed in third place, who do we have? We have Luis Gono in third place. Okay, so we have a professional race car driver in third place. This is going to be a great race. You can see they're all really tightly packed. It can't go any way. So here we go.
We've already seen Corban Guerrero losing the lead.
That's right. That's
Corban Controller Guerrero. We call him that.
That's right.
Corban Controller Guerrero currently at second, but he is hanging on to that. Sukain is now at number 1. Medyo nagkakagulo sa midfield, no? I mean, if you can see, there's a lot of cars that are just there.
That's right. Yeah. And that's where we have the real race car drivers as well. Alex Brown is in that pack. In third place, we still have Luis Guano. He's starting to lose touch a bit with the front runners, and he's now being pressured a bit by Luis Moreno. Luis has come all the way from the back. This is our professional esports player versus our professional race car driver. They're really now nose to tail, and there's a bit of a move there by Luis Moreno. I don't know if he's going to make it stick. He's just made a move on Luis Gono. Luis versus Luis. Who's going to come out on top? And Luis Moreno is now in front. Okay.
And I believe it was Terence Liave that glitched out. He was it? I think. I haven't seen him.
No, I think. Yeah, okay. So Terence is actually there in the back right now. Under the name Chupagetti. Chupagetti is there in the back. He's battling with some of the real racers. I don't know if he's going to be able to get through because there's a lot of experience from these real racers.
Earlier, the positions 3 all the way to like 7, they're all kind of tied in together. Corban Controller Guerrero is now at number 1 again.
Yeah, look at that.
Not giving up. There you go. Sukain is now down to second place. Man, look at this guy go. There
you go. So through the S curves, coming up the hill, and in third place we have Luis Moreno. Interestingly enough, it's there's been a bit of a mix-up. Elman Cram. So Mark Elman is now in 4th place, right behind Luis Moreno. So we have 2 professional esports players right there in 3rd and 4th place. And when I say professional esports players, these guys race all over the world online. So they battle with the best guys.
Okay, Alpha Cypher moved up a little bit, but went back down. There is a battle going on between 5th, 6th, and 7th. If you look at it, everybody's pretty much trying to get ahead of everyone. This is what racing is all about. So kind of given. So
okay, so that was a good call. So we can see right now, Luis Bona in 5th place is they're sandwiching a esport player, Alpha Cypher. Okay, so this is Miguel San Mateo, and right behind them is Alex Brown, another professional race car driver. So let's see what happens with these guys. It looks like the battle's quite intense. Let me see if we can get into one of the in-car shots. I hope we can get one.
Still currently holding at 4th. Corbin Guerrero, my God, this guy on a controller is number 1.
That's right. But I think these guys now need to be a bit worried about the guys that are catching the back. Luis Moreno is now right up there with them. And Luis is making a move on 2nd place. And is he going to make it stick? Yes, he has made it in the 2nd place right now. This is a great in-car shot now. Are we riding with Luis? We are. And right in front of him, we can see Corban, the controller, Guerrero.
Really hanging on to that number 1 spot. Not really getting a breakaway as much as I guess you want, but you know he is doing a good job of keeping Luis Moreno at bay as well. It cannot be easy to feel that much pressure. As, I mean, you can see. Oh, here we go.
Wow,
what a move!
That's a very, very difficult move to make stick, because through that section it's very, very hard to be much quicker than the guys behind you. You could see that he was taking a different line and setting it up properly. Great move there by Luis Moreno. Taking 1st place, coming all the way from the back. All the way from the back.
But of course, we are only halfway through this race. It is currently lap 3 of 6. So a lot more can happen. I mean, if you really look at everybody's pretty much racing side to side now. If you see 3rd and 4th place, Elman Cram is really trying to make a move on Sokane, but Sokane kind of pulls away a little bit. Let's see if he's able to successfully try to pass at least Sokane.
Yeah, so you can see that Sokane, Elman Cram, and in the back there we have Alpha Cypher. They've all got the same livery, so I guess they're going teammates. That's what teammates.
It's like,
so I wonder if there's going to be team orders with these guys, right?
But let's just lock everyone and keep 3 to 5. Keep everyone 3 to 5 lang.
1 point to go. Yeah, you could be right there. Okay, the interesting thing is there has been some position changes, and I think Alex Brown has passed Luis Bono. Chupagetti has passed Luis Bono. So
Luis Bono, who was earlier at a higher position, right? I believe he was like somewhere around 3rd.
He was in 3rd. Yeah. So now he's in the back. There could have been some contact in the back that we didn't see, or somebody's just gone off. And I don't.
Alpha Cypher has gone off. Now down to 8th place. Chupagetti really making his way. He was at 8th place pretty much from laps 1 to 3. Now he's currently at number 5. Moving up in the ranks. Unfortunately for Alpha Cypher, he's down to 8th place at the moment. If you look at the 1st and 2nd, Corbin Guerrero still at 2nd place after that by Luis Moreno, a couple of laps back.
So yeah, so you've called it very, very well. Chupagetti is definitely up in the 5th place, and you know, it's like he was gifted a couple of places there as people span out, and it was like it was his birthday, and it actually was his birthday 2 days ago. So happy birthday, Chupagetti!
Happy birthday! Medyo nag-abangers lang siya dun. You know, eventually it's a police car style of driving, diba? Na parang they're bound to make mistakes, let me capitalize on these mistakes. So Very,
That's
very,
right.
very opportunistic, but that's just how it works. Currently, we are in car with Sokane, trying to. Oh, there you go. Oh, Corbin. Oh, Corbin really slowing down. Corbin, Controller Guerrero now down to fourth place. Chupageti also overtaking him.
Spaghetti up to fourth. Corbin has lost a lot of places. I think there's been a bit of a problem with him. I don't know if it was a connection problem or a controller problem, but it's looked like he's lost a lot of places right there.
Sad to see. Sad to see. He had a beautiful start of the race. He was hanging on to it. It's kind of expecting that he'd be able to hold on to second place, but we still have one more lap to go after the current round that we're in, after the current lap that we're in. So we'll see. Maybe he'll still be able to pull through from it. But we are currently watching Chupageti, who made his way all the way from 8th place. Now he's up at 4th place, right on the tail of Sokane.
Okay, so in the lead we still have Luis Moreno, and at the moment looks like he's controlling this race. He's got quite a bit of a lead as well. And then who do we have next? Is it
Elman Cram is up next.
And then in third place, who do we have in third place here? We have Sokane. And we're riding now with Chupageti. I wonder if Chupageti can make a move coming into the hairpin. Oh, there was a nice defensive move by Mark Elman. I think he saw Chupageti in his mirrors, being a bit defensive. And what are we?
Trying to get past
Contact. And off goes. Sokane is off. Sokane is off. There's definitely going to be an investigation in that probably be a penalty. So what we have now is Corbin fighting back, and Alex Brown as well. Trying to take up some more positions, and a move by Alex Brown. Is he going to make it stick? Can he make it stick? Not enough speed through there. Into the last Casio chicane, leading onto the main straight, and we've got one more lap in this race. A lot of action in this final.
Nice little Chupageti sandwich there, Corbin. Sandwiching Chupageti with Alex Brown.
Interesting. Yeah, definitely.
There you go. Right, remember we were talking about it earlier, and Corbin Guerrero had actually dropped down to, I believe, 6th or 7th place after Alex Brown and Chupageti overtook him, but he has been, he's just kept at it. Gigil, nilabas sa controller yung Gigil. Ngayon, currently he is at 3rd place, trailing Elman Cram. Luis Moreno at this point is, I think, pretty comfortable with his lead on 1st place. There's a battle going on. At least Alpha Cypher looks like he's trying to make a move on Alex Brown, who is making a move on Chupageti, who is also making a move on Corbin Guerrero. Really exciting stuff.
So you called it earlier on, Gino, when you ask, can you make up positions if you make a mistake, right? And you've seen it right there with Corbin Guerrero. He made a mistake, went all the way back down to 5th or 6th place, and he's crawled back up the positions, passed everybody one by one, and he's now back in 3rd place. So it's looking good for him. He's definitely got some speed, but
has dropped down to 7th, but he is moving back up to 6th. Oh wow, Alex Brown, I think, is off track as of the moment. Oh no, he's back. Oh yeah, he was able to make his way back. Currently down to 6th place.
Okay, so Alpha Cypher in 5th, Alex Brown in 6th, and behind them we have Misco in 7th place.
And Sokane all the way at 8th. We're now watching Luis. Absolutely nobody behind him. Crossing the finish line. Easy peasy for him. After taking
Wow,
that
with
one, Guerrero, he pretty much held on to the first spot.
And Luis also putting in the fastest lap, right? With a 208.
Yeah.
208.71.
Does that mean he gets double the prize? Because like he's first and he's also the fastest lap, right?
Looks like it. Looks like it.
Kinda does. Good job for him. Congratulations.
Great win for Luis Moreno coming from the back. Okay, so our winners for that race, in third place we have Corban, the controller Guerrero. In second place we have Mark Elman. And in first place we have Luis Moreno, again coming from the back. Luis and Mark coming from the back. Great race, you guys. Congratulations to the winners.
Mahilig ang Pinoy sa ganyan eh, 'di ba? Papabugbog muna tapos saka tayo babawi. Ganyan ang mga mga bida natin. 'Di ba? Yun yung nangyayari. Kaya it makes for an interesting story when they're coming from behind. There you go. You've got our top 3 racers for the sporting class. Big congratulations to them. Obviously a job well done.
Super exciting racing in the final for that race.
Yep.
There was battles in the front, battles in the middle, battles in the back, and it basically shows the quality of racing in the sporting class.
Indeed. Now, just so you guys know, again, if you're interested in going for something awesome like the new Toyota Vios, you can learn more about the new Toyota Vios and our other models by visiting toyota.com.ph. And also, the raffle results are in. Congratulations to our 3 winners flashed on our screens right now. Check it out. You've just won GR merchandise from Toyota. So do send us a message on Facebook. That way we get to inform you on how you can claim your prize. Keep following our page for more information about the event, playing pointers, and track tips. Now, these will all come in super handy and, of course, have been specifically made for your enjoyment and entertainment.
Want to know what leveled up with the new Toyota Vios? Leveled up look! Daytime running lights, 3-tier LED headlights, glossy black front grille and bumper, upgraded fog lamps. The current Vios just leveled up with a new cutting-edge exterior. The new Vios. Level up your drive.
What an amazing set of races for our first round at Suzuka. I want to congratulate all the winners. And in the promotional class, in third place, we had Lance Kubala. Second place, Lance Padilla. And our champion, Gab Senares. Congratulations, you guys. In the sporting class, in third place, we have Corban, the controller Guerrero. In second place, Mark Elman. And our champion tonight, coming from the back of the grid, Luis Moreno. So guys, great racing. Remember that the next track is going to be in Japan as well, and it's going to be the Autopolis circuit. Start practicing. You also have to keep in mind that we're going to be giving the 1.5 times, okay, for all of the points that are going to be given out next race, and it should be super exciting.
Nice. So there's actually going to be a multiplier for all the points that are earned in the next round of the race. Not to sort of discredit this round, because for this round there was no multiplier, but I mean it gives a little bit more gravity to the situation when you're playing for 1.5 times the points, right? But it's solid job from everybody that we've seen thus far. The great thing about all of this is because we're all stuck at home, we don't even need visas to go to Japan. We can just check out these races and we get a little taste of it. But, again, we just wanted to thank everybody for joining us today. And we hope that you guys can join us the rest of the way. But don't forget, sign up and registration for race number 2 will be open starting August the 2nd. So if you weren't able to join this last round, or if you didn't place or rank, that's fine. That's okay. We can let that slide because there is a multiplier for the next round. Points are multiplied by 1.5 times, so you have an even better chance the next time around. There's a whole lot more opportunities for you in the coming days, so keep practicing, keep playing, and of course keep racing. So we'll see you guys there. On behalf of JP Tuazon and I, thank you so much. Good night, everyone.